How to fake a good night's sleep in a few easy steps. Sometimes, no matter what we do, we get the dark circles under our eyes. I use eye cream daily. I used to work nights, they were really dark, but even still, when I'm not getting enough sleep, which I haven't been the last few days, like look at this right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we get rid of that. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use a color corrector. We are not going to go in straight with concealer. Why? Because the area around here is going to be like a bluish or dark like mine is, right? And if you put something that's a way lighter on top of something that's dark, all that you're going to do is get gray, which is just going to make you look worse. You're going to go from looking like you've had a lack of sleep to looking like you need to be an extra on The Walking Dead. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is go in with a color corrector. Mine is from LA Girl. I happen to like this one. If you're a lighter skin tone than me, you might want to try something that's peachy. I use orange because what I'm trying to do is cancel out that color, not cover up that color, because you're not going to cover it up very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand first. I do that so that I don't put too much in that area. And I'm just going to tap on that, and I'm going to look down, see I can clearly see the shadow of where it is there. And I'm just going to take and I'm going to tap that orange color into my skin. And I'm going to go up in here because we all tend to have like a little bit of a darkish color, like right sort of like the inner corner of the eye. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to pat it, and notice I'm not putting it everywhere, I'm just putting it where the darkness is, okay? You don't need to color correct, you know, everywhere, and you don't want a whole bunch of product on your skin to try and get rid of. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm also going to do, again, see how it's dark right there? And that's not for everybody, but I would say the majority of us have that, especially if you have dark under eyes. It's sort of like just in the front of the eye there. And I'm going to put just a little bit more on my hand. It's always better to add than try to take it off, because once you have a bunch on there, it's way harder to take it off than it is to add some more if you need it. Gonna put right, make sure that it's going right in that darkened area right there. So I've been getting up super early in the morning, I don't know why, and then these circles are just getting darker. And now what we're going to do is we're going to wait. Now this is the important part, you have to wait until it dries. If you try to put another product on top of that, what's going to happen is the colors are going to mix together, and whatever you put over top is going to have an orangey hue. So what you want to do is make sure that the product is fully dry before you go on top with our next product. Now we're going to check to see it's dry so you don't see any orange on my finger. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a concealer that's closer to the color of my skin. And I'm going to take that, I take it with my ring finger, pat that on, again for the same reason, so that I don't put too much. And I'm just going to go over where I put that color. And I'm just going to pat it in. So pat. And you're just softly patting in, and see how the color is not mixing. You're not seeing any orange there, and the reason is because I waited for it to dry first so that they won't mix together. And I'm just gonna pat lightly, go all along where I put the color corrector, and then I'm just going to show you that side. Just going to put a little bit more over here, I think. Right here. And that's a very small amount that I put on, by the way. You see me going in because I like to do it in small amounts at a time, so that I can build up if I need, but that I don't have too much to begin with, because as I said, it's always harder to take something off than it is to add a little bit more in. So I've patted that together, and look at the difference. So when I look down, look at the difference now compared to how dark it was when it first started. And that's how you fix your under eye. And then you can just go along, put on your foundation. You can even put a little bit of brightening concealer under that if you want. But to the before and after, I mean, it just, look, I look like I'm rested. So even if you're not rested, you can fake it.